Okay, so
So what software is that?
huh?
What's
This is called OBS Studio.
okay.
This is what's ideal.
Is it a subscription?
No, not a subscription. Some kind of a behind aerial view.
Well, you got these. Where was that tripod there? I don't know how tall that goes. It's up there.
Uh huh.
I can't reach it. Let me look at it.
Here isn't bad. If you want.
Hey, have you got an email from that lady? From the tech?
What'd you say?
Do you have an email from the technician?
Oh. I don't want to look at my email on that screen. No, not whatever. No, not yet.
How about this, Harris? Still not for you. No, that's not quite tall enough, is it?
No, but if we put it on this surface, it's more than tall.
Or you could put it on here when you're doing it. Okay.
No, here's good.
You're just the height what you want it to be. And then it's got a screw, you know, you can.
This hasn't been touched by anyone but the salesman. Was this a gift?
No, I've read part of that. What?
What? Kindle?
Hmm?
Kindle?
Oh, this doesn't have a. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that comes off, right?
Oh yeah, how do I get the GoPro on there?
You got a screw at the bottom of it? Something
No.
at the bottom? No? I think that doesn't fit into this.
Well, what about the clip thing? Can that get low enough?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Right here. Put that back on. Shouldn't you be holding this while you screw?
Oh. I think you screwed it too tight.
There we go. This way it can rotate a little. I don't know how that works actually. Okay. Oh.
It's the longest cable. No other way of needing a longer cable, huh?
Yeah. There we go. Boom. They feel like they're here, bro. Now what's doing... Oh, you're doing that. The problem is the light. Then the office goes dark.
Okay.
So he has
Makes
to...
it light.
Windows have to be out of the frame. That's good. Okay, great. Oh, yes, we just need a longer cable. Should we order one now or do we have one?
No, I don't have that one. That's you need like a 10 feet, I would say, or
Mhm.
even 12.
Should I order it now?
This is Anil Seth. You know this other Sam, but you know Anil Seth. He's a
I've
big,
heard that name.
he's the guy who came up with one theory of consciousness. I'm not sure. I can't remember what it was called now.
Let's ask ChatGPT what we think of Anil Seth.
What is Anil Seth's theory of consciousness?
I'll just ask her in my streaming thing. Oh no. Let's put it in Alaris. Even though it's not Alaris.
USB-C to USB-C.
Uh-huh.
We got 15 feet, 16 feet, 12 feet. That's twice as long. That should be
Okay,
enough,
get
right?
16, bro. It's not like you can get too long when it's about setting up cameras. Oh, he also has a predictive processing model. Wait. Okay, she says... It looks like we would actually agree with Anil Seth. So that's good. So let's see what she says overall. Conclusion. Anil Seth's theories of consciousness align quite well with the framework of it theory. His view of consciousness as a controlled hallucination and predictive coding dovetails with the idea of cognition being a dynamic process of constantly updated condition-consequent
Can you
relationships.
send that to me? You should send that to your team.
Uh-huh. With a central role for attention, context, and feedback. His focus on the brain as a Bayesian... Oh, he was the one who was talking about cognition as being Bayesian. His focus on the brain as a Bayesian machine that continuously refines predictions fits well with the probabilistic, context-driven nature of it theory. Seth's work provides a rich neurobiological foundation for understanding the mechanisms behind the processes that shape consciousness, and it's easy to see how it theory could fit into this broader framework. In short, Seth's views provide an excellent basis for understanding how cognition happens and how consciousness might emerge from a complex network of interconnected processes. It supports the idea that what we experience as consciousness is not a single unified thing, but an ongoing process constantly shaped by interactions between prediction and feedback, which is very much in line with the ideas explored in it theory. Not bad, Mr. Dr. Seth. Very good. I thought if it came with Father's recommendation, it was going to be a single unified thing. I'm just teasing Father. Let's not tease Father. Okay, that's cool. Is that something that we want to work on, think about right now? Let's see. You know what we should do right now? Do a reading list.
Oh, you took.
That's what you want to look through?
Hold on a second. Oh, wait a minute. Where is that?
Maybe here? No, this is all my stuff.
Did you take stuff out of it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, this is. Look at this. It says load of adapters,
Yeah,
which some I think apply to your GoPro.
yeah, they do. That does anyway.
Yeah. So that is used.
Oh, this is what you need to be able to screw it into the tripod.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This is yeah.
And then you take one of those. Do we have
Well,
one of those? And then what you do is you put that through
Well,
that.
that is that, isn't it? It's the same thing, isn't it?
No, we need. Oh, does the screw come out of the tripod? We need female?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. And this is it, yeah.
So there's other stuff in here that. That's something, isn't it? No, there's something.
No, but you have a lot of good stuff in here. Oh man, I used to have this on my belt. This is a
Hey, this is
camera, a little digital camera.
This is a GoPro thing.
Oh, it's still in here.
Look, see this?
But this is the best one, I think, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm just
Oh
saying.
no, this is good because you can manipulate more. So then, how do you connect? Oh, I expected it to be more silver. Oh no, now
What
from
is
this
this
end
thing?
it looks
What
familiar.
could this thing do?
That's to fix it in place because you can slide it along here.
But what does it do? What's this?
You know what? I don't know because I thought this is what
Okay.
went on the tripod.
No.
Wait, on this? No.
That could fit, that obviously fits on the back on the end of a GoPro.
This is what goes on the tripod, bro. Somehow.
Oh, okay, okay. And then you put something.
And I'd have this
I
on
know,
my hip.
So then you put something on top of that to hold it down.
On my hip like that. Boom. Gotcha.
Anyway, so you should explore this, see what you got.
Yeah.
Hey, look, that's an adapter for the US. Does that fit your that other thing you got, that the France one? Oh, you didn't bring your French one.
What are you referring
Did you bring
the
a French
charger?
adapter, a French power thing?
No.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
I mean, maybe. Yeah, for my Mac I did.
Well, does this convert it to the American?
Ah, because this slides into the MacBook thing? I see. That's cool. Yeah, I bet that would. I mean, yeah, it definitely would. I think it might have fallen back there. So I don't want to deal with that right now. But that's good to note. Hey, is there a problem with something here? Why does this keep stopping?
Huh?
How does this work? Oh, you don't know. We just opened it.
What is that?
This is a Peloton heart rate monitor. So that's on the agenda.
Where'd you get that from?
Mother.
You already had it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. No, that was yesterday's mail. And this is for putting a microphone on here.
Great.
Okay.
Hey, do you want to check out the sound on this stream?
Okay, let me get this ordered.
Where's the bigger iPhone? Okay, let's do another. Okay, that's great. Thank you for that information. We were about to make a note of something, a list. Books. Okay. Very good. How do you duplicate? Oh, copy. Paste reference. I want to paste duplicate. What happens if I paste reference? We gotta close that door. I'll close it. But we gotta keep it closed when we go in and out. Okay, let's also make a 2025 reading review list because there's books I read years ago that I'm seeing that we should. Oh, no, I think it's just about finishing it. Alright, here we go. Buying Brain. How to be human. What's a deep Pradeep? AK Pradeep. Oh, let's put page numbers. Oh, I'll show it to you. Alright, The Buying Brain, Boom, Secrets for Selling to the Subconscious Mind. What did we say, 2011? 2010. Okay, so that's up there. 135 we said? No, 235. Okay. Next. How to Be Human. The manual with a neuroscientist and a monk. This would be kind of a really good time to read this too. Should read this with Dad, really. Oh, wow. Kids, relationships, compassion, the future. Oh, boy. Even though she looks like she's off a 90s sitcom, bro. That's hilarious. Look at her. Okay, let's not mock a woman's appearance. She's a successful comedian, TV writer, and performer of over 25 years. I see she's not the neuroscientist or the monk. So Ruby Wax. It's by Ruby Wax with a neuroscientist and a monk. How to Be Human, the manual. I get it now. Now we're all cut up. Ruby Wax is a successful comedian, TV writer, and performer of over 25 years. Ruby additionally holds a master's degree in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy from Oxford University. Okay. And was awarded an OBE in Madam, or whatever you're supposed to say, in 2015 for her services to mental health. That's very exciting. How many pages did we say? I think that's what we're gonna be doing on the stream because we just have to swallow these books, bro, as fast as possible. 172. Next. we're just gonna be reading to you all day long. In fact, we're gonna just read until we get exhausted today. Oh, you know what'd be good? Putting this into Excel. Dang, okay, let's do that. Ugh, come on, hurry up and...
Do you want a particular color?
Yeah, and add color we don't have. Oh, no, these are really long. So those are easily recognizable. So no, I do not want a particular color.
Okay.
Seventh Heaven. I want this one.
What size did we say? 15 is okay?
Yeah.
What did she say?
Frank, you bought another electric or something?
Another electric what?
I don't know. Cable?
Another what?
Maybe, did you just put the order? Oh, you haven't put that order yet, okay.
I haven't ordered anything yet, have I? Did you order it?
Oh,
Please
Alexa.
unlock the device to continue.
No, I didn't order another Alexa.
Where can this go?
Hey Alexa.
Please unlock the device to continue.
I don't know where that's coming from.
What if I do this, bro? Because then he might go back. But then I'll just do that.
Oh God. So you didn't do the way at the back, did you?
I didn't do the very green part, but I did the by the house and everything.
Oh, you did by the house. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. And you didn't do the peep by the fence. The other side of the fence.
No.
Okay. So tomorrow, can you do that bit? the
What
other
are you
side of the
talking
fence?
about?
I should put the, excuse
Okay.
me, I should put the wash in. What's this right here?
Something for Cairo? What's that? Oh, I'm returning that when it comes. I was going to get the $100 one. I
Mhm.
tried to cancel it. I ordered it and tried to cancel it. Couldn't. As it's been prepared, can't cancel it.
Oh.
So we'll come today and we'll have to return it.
Oh, that thing is 100.
No, over 100. Yeah.
Okay, and then what's this? Is this part of the
It's
same
a
thing?
remote control. Both have to be returned. Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
That's Alexa.
And
okay.
you can wave to that camera, or that
You're
camera.
on live.
I'm
We're
on
on
live.
live,
Are you
yeah.
serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Back away from the camera.
Okay. Tell me what this thing is right here.
Oh, that's his shoulder strap for his GoPro.
Chest strap, nice. But I have a chest strap. Oh, it's for the iPhone.
Yeah, you thought it was a bra for me, right?
He'll have his own stream in no time.
You should have a sign live streaming or live.
Mm. Yeah, I think I'm always gonna be streaming, to be honest, because it keeps me honest. Keeps me accountable.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let the world be accountable to the whole world. Don't blurt out any passwords.
Right.
If I ask you for a password, write down a piece of paper.
Yeah. But there's so many cameras.
Yeah, even that would be risky.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna focus on what my move is here while you read that. Let's say I let him. He's 3 points up, and I say I don't care. I've gone like this, I let him do that, and I go like this. And then he's like, blam. And then I'm like, blam. And he's like,
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm going
blam.
upstairs to get dressed.
And I'm like,
Okay, I'll go put that
blam.
stuff in your car.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Maybe I should do it. Alternatively, no, he's gonna save his night, right? He's gonna be like, let me stay up 3, bro. Alternatively, what if he does like that? So the fuck what, bro? I would just go like that then. Alright, let's just do it. Is that crazy? Oh, so otherwise, oh. So if I do that, he does that. Now he's got 2 defenders on this, and I'm not pinning nobody. I mean, forking nobody. Right. Silly me. So, blam. Okay. Thank you. Oh no. Is this charging? Is it done charging? I gotta get the Peloton app. That's alright. Yeah, it is. Oh, can't. Because I'm still in the French store. Okay. Can we... Oh, shit. I've got an idea. I could use another phone, right? Put it on the US store, just make an Apple ID, and then I have the Peloton app on that. And that means I could also have a phone with me. Oh fuck, I gotta cancel my my mobile. That was nice, bud. Okay, anyway, okay, maybe I can get it not from the App Store. I forgot password. That's not good. What should we do about this? That's really weird. I restarted my computer, didn't I? Oh, I'm not sure I did. Let's just try another cable first. Oh, because it's not plugged directly into the computer. Alright, let's... Oh no, we need the hard drive. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're unplugging, and we're gonna plug in there. Okay, now we're talking. And then let's get you back up. OBS. GoPro. GoPro. No supported. Dang, you can't connect it through there? Okay, what about my hard drive then? Yeah, my hard drive will connect through there. Excuse me. Come on, hard drive. Come on, hard drive. Oh. Oh. Okay. So I'm trying to plug in how many things to my 3 ports. You. 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 And my hard drive. Is there USB on this that's could be useful? The answer is no. So you know what we need to do? We need to buy. Alright. No, we need to get the videos off of this, put them onto the hard drive. Okay, so you just go away for a little while. Okay, no problem. Alright, great. Okay, now we had already transferred some stuff. Wow, how lucky am I? Look at this office, dude. Look at this screen. Okay, so where were we? Alright. That wasn't finished. Okay. Alright, let's just do that one real quick. Damn, did I just cancel it? Unbelievable, bro. That's actually okay because we don't want to put it there. We want to put it here. Okay, great. So this is just my mother thinking that she is enjoying something she's watching and with privacy. No privacy. And the whole time I'm just staring at her like that. Okay. Oh, and then she spotted me. Okay. So we have this one. 562 megabytes. What's that? 8345. Oh. Wait, what? What's this then? 8347. Oh, I put that in videos, right? Okay. As this should also be. Great. Look at that. Now, what's this?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. That's a short version. Oh, should we edit and publish this right now?
Mais on peut l'aider, d'écrire. Réflexion critique, ok. Et qu'est-ce qui est logique du coup et qu'est-ce qui n'est pas logique, tu vois? Quels sont.
Let's just get all the files. Okay. Okay, 8336 done. 8335 done. 8333 83. Oh, because I clipped it. 8332 31 Rio 20,3 1,26. Ça c'est quoi ça? 1,26 Inchiga 20,3. Ah, something went wrong. So we want to put this. Well, probably videos actually. Okay, here we go. So that has gotten interrupted, and then we just keep going from here. Okay, got you. So all the videos gone back to April 9th. Let's not be too hasty. You're probably thinking, why don't you organize it by kind? Because I haven't really figured out how to do that while also keeping it organized by date. Some nice flight photos. There's Neo going into the onto the belt. Hey, can we look through some pictures together? I want to get some sativa. See what that's like. I want to close my eyes. We absolutely have to do this. File transfer. April 10th. April 9th. Great. What? Oh, because I already deleted? There's just one video at 7:10 a.m. April 9th. Okay, I already deleted it. Very good. Let's put these videos as fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now what? Reading list. Excel. Let's just do summer, bro. Well, no. Okay. Okay. Oh, I need to zoom in. More. Oh no, no, I don't want that. No. That's not bad. No. What? What's the normal size? This is the normal size. But this wasn't that big, was it? View. Actual size. Oh. That's nice. That's nice. I gotta look at what you see. Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm just gonna retype it. Great. Next. Yeah, we're just gonna read these on stream. Okay, appendix 1, let's go. Whatever, it's 170 about. Next. I keep forgetting whether I finished this. No, it got too hard for me, didn't it? I got up to page 170 back in 2018. So maybe we could get through that really quickly. I don't know. What was it? I'm sorry, bro. Future of the mind. Okay. Now I've forgotten. 3:30. Greenfield Susan, The Private Life of the Brain. We're just gonna fucking swallow these, bro. Shit, what was it? 180? 186? It was about that. Ah. $186. I'm not going to include the epilogue. Okay, finally we've read these. 288. Okay, we've read that. Oh, not read that. Oh, to be honest, we haven't read that either. Alright. Did we read The Brain in Love? That's not going to be for... That's not even going to be in our list, actually. Oh, The First Idea. Greenspan. Oh, I still haven't been... Okay. Free Will. Sam Harris. And this is super easy. Should we just do this one today? Could. Alright, let's drink this shit. Alright, let's just knock this out today, bro. 66, bro. Okay. This one. Oh, sorry. The Birth of the Mind. How a tiny number of genes creates the complexities of human thought. Appendix. Okay, 177. No, we should not do that. Oh, let's put this with the evolution ones. No, it's not. Oh, we gotta do those. Alright. We're not gonna read all of this. But we'll read half of this today. Okay, great. What did you say? 170 what? 176? 77. We literally have a chat message. This is amazing. Look at that. You're actually our first non-familial chat, but I can't read your message yet. What are you working on? Alright. Alright, I just moved back to the US from France. So I'm getting my office ready. What I'm working on in general is saving the world. Explaining to minds how minds work and how they don't work, so that minds can be better minds. So we're gonna do that by reading. Well, we've been doing that for a while, and well, I don't know. Get on the team, bro. Okay. What else? All right. Next. So right now, literally in this moment, we're just doing our reading list, what we need to read, that we have available here and we haven't read yet. Okay. Oh. So, okay, let's figure out whether this one is going to be relevant. Truth and lies. What people are really thinking. Are they psychologists, neuroscientists? Who did they get reviewed by? Nobody I know. I guess this is not going to be a priority. It's body language. That would be really... I mean, this is a book I want to read, but it's not going to be... It's not a priority. Okay. Who's in charge? Free will... Oh, I read this. Okay. But this would be on the review list. When did I read this? There are post-its in here. That's weird. Wait, maybe I didn't read it. What if I just put some post-its in? Okay, I have stuff underlined. Oh, a little underlining. Here's something underlined. Page 65. If no information is coming into a portion of his visual cortex, he is left with a blind spot and complains. The non-complainer, however, has a lesion in the visual associative cortex, the part of the cortex associated with advanced stages of visual information processing that produces the visual experience. Sorry, that was a long parenthetical note. The non-complainer, however, has a lesion in the visual associative cortex itself and not the optic nerve. So, in the visual cortex itself and not the optic nerve. Alright, I'm putting this on the list because I don't know when I... Oh, 2015. Okay, yes. We're gonna act like we haven't read this because... Okay. So that's Gazzaniga. Who's in charge? Fine, we'll call it that. And this is not long. Oh yeah, because we were gonna put text on the screen so people can see and know what. No, but that was no. That's fine. $2.20. I shouldn't even have the chat open, should I? No, I mean I just made a new friend, so sure. $2.20. Yeah, I don't need to worry right now. obviously when there are millions and billions of people in the chat, I'm just gonna turn it off. Okay. Okay, I've read everything else there. No. Here's something I haven't read and we're not gonna read because cock, right? Confessions of a Romantic Reductionist. Romantic, definitely. But he would call himself a reductionist? Right, but he's a romantic reductionist. He's not a real reductionist, I see, okay. How long is it? It's not even 200 pages, bro. Alright, we'll read it. Okay, Consciousness by Cock. This way we can really feel good about dismantling him. Or not him personally. 166. That's everything, bro. Is that really everything? No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Okay, we've got 3 more. Alright. How We Believe, The Search for God in an Age of Science. Michael Shermer. Wait, is this going to be biology or like history? I don't know how important this is going to be. Is this going to be about the mind, about the brain? The storytelling animal. What is, page 143, what is this to do with religion and the belief in God? We have recognized 2 primary purposes of religion. 1, the creation of stories and myths that address the deepest questions we can ask ourselves. Blah, blah. 2, the production of moral systems to provide social cohesion. When did he write this? I don't even think I'm going to type this on the list. I've been so excited about this book. Oh, 2000. Okay. He wrote The Believing Brain after, and we've already read that, so never mind this. Okay, what we value. Oh, sorry. What we value. Emily Falk, The Neuroscience of Choice and Change. And then Being You, A New Science of Consciousness, Anil Seth. Being You is 200 and, I was going to say 80, 88. No, that includes the acknowledgements. Let's not include the epilogue. 275, not pretty close. Okay, 275. Okay. This is it. Okay. All right. Okay, now. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, not only am I a slow reader, Not only am I a slow reader, we're also gonna be yapping. So equals bop minus bop times 5. Come on, let's do 4. Divided by 60. Alright, we'll do a conditional format on this. No, sorry. What? What do I want to do? Oh, color scale. Wait, 400, why does, oh, because it's more than a day? Got you. So this is not the right format. Duration. Damn, no. What? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Oh, that's silly. Okay, we don't want this. We definitely want this. Dang. Oh, I said custom time format. Oops. No, I didn't. Duration. What is this 376 business? Alright. Cancel. Automatic. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah. Blop. Okay, that's fine. We want the opposite for our little color scale here. Same. Alright. And then let's do, what are the super important ones? What was that one I said now would be a really good time to read it? How to Be Human. Do that. Let's do that. Alright, let's go. 2, 3. 3. 3. 3. Telltale Brain. Ramachandran. Let's go 4. First idea. Let's go 2. Free Will. Let's go 2. Birth of Mind. Let's go 4. Who's in Charge? Let's go 4. 3. What We Value. Let's go 4. Let's go Being You. Let's go 5, bro. Okay. Oh, you can't see that. That's alright. Let's see. Let me just move this a little bit. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's not it. Boo. Whatever. Okay. Okay. How's our video transfer going? Mec, là je viens de prendre un coup de barre. Hey, has it been progressing? I swear to God. God damn, bro. For real or not? Dang. You are kidding. Zero bytes, bro. Alright. 8325, right? Boom. Okay. I'm gonna get a beer. What time is it? 2:30. That's all right. You wanna go outside? We can go for a walk if you want. I'm in the office if you want to come in and we can go for a walk. Okay? We forgot about the password reset for Peloton so we can put our heart rate up. Peloton. I don't see anything from Peloton. Maybe it's this one. Forgot password. Oh. Okay. So, nope. What did you want? I'm so tired, bro. Okay, 8324. Damn. Okay, we had selected 45, so we have like 7 more. Or 8 more. Wait, did I miss something? One more. Let's go. Boom. It's gotta be it. Oh. Maybe last time we had missed one. Alright. Okay, we have logged into Peloton. Oh no, it's moving, right? Yeah, okay. Now how do we set up this, whatchamacallit, heart rate monitor? Oh, maybe it can't be done on the website. Alright, I'm not even trying to figure that out right now. Okay. Résilier le contrat. Changer de forfait. Mon offre. Obtenir de l'aide. Mes conditions d'abonnement. Non. Changer de forfait. Non. Ok. Résilier contrat frais. Mobile. Pour procéder à la résiliation de votre abonnement mobile. I swear the accent of the guy I hear in my head is not the same as the accent that I'm speaking out. The accent you hear is not as good as the accent I'm saying, and you're just gonna have to take my word for it. Let's go over here. Okay. It's probably gonna be a little bit of private info, but pour procéder à la résiliation, vous avez le choix. Contactez-nous par téléphone, appel inclus depuis une ligne free, ou rendez-vous sur votre espace mobile, rubrique Mon offre. Ok, très bien. Puis cliquez plus besoin de mon abonnement. Je vois pas ça. Plus besoin de mon abonnement. Je vois pas ça. Ok. Résilier un contrat. Résilier votre FAI. What's that? Résiliation. or lie? Oh, that's Freebox. I don't want Freebox. Offre service. Abonné. Résiliation. But this is. Oh. Okay. Let's try this again. Vous avez le choix. Soit vous nous contactez par téléphone au 3244. Choix information sur la résiliation de votre abonnement. Ou rendez-vous sur votre espace abonné mobile, rubrique Mon offre, puis cliquez sur Plus besoin. Mais c'est où ça? Ok, no problem. Rendez-vous en bas de page sur notre site internet, rubrique Résilier un contrat. I mean, literally the only place that appears on your page is in your instructions. Alright, let's just call, right? So I gotta turn on that SIM card. That's probably gonna be expensive. Cellular. Turn on this line. Let's turn off my American line, I guess. Le 3244.
Bonjour et bienvenue chez Free. Pour écouter les mentions légales et les tarifs de cet appel, tapez dièse. Pour une assistance sur votre offre mobile, tapez 1. Sur votre offre Freebox ou Box 5G, tapez 2. Nous sommes désolés, nous n'avons pas compris votre
Ah
choix.
merde! Quoi?
Pour une assistance sur votre offre mobile, tapez 1. Sur votre offre Freebox ou Box 5G,
Ok.
tapez 2. Découvrez le Chat Pro, l'assistant intelligent de Mistral AI. Obtenez des réponses rapides et adaptées pour vos tâches perso ou pro du quotidien. Essayez-le dès aujourd'hui. Rendez-vous dans votre espace abonné mobile pour découvrir votre offre avec tout ce mois offert. Pour une assistance sur la ligne mobile depuis laquelle vous nous contactez, tapez 1. Pour une assistance, nos services sont ouverts du lundi au dimanche de 8h à 21h. Merci de bien vouloir renouveler votre appel ultérieurement.
Damn, they closed 45 minutes ago. Okay, no worries. No worries. Lie. Lie. Okay. Hey Siri, remind me tomorrow to call Free. Hey Siri, remind me to call Free tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right. So we can put these away. He wants us to move those because we'll need to charge them. We'll need to load paper into that. And so we're gonna stack these. We finished the file transfer, the video transfer. So now we can unplug the hard drive. No. We're gonna unplug the phone for a minute. Wait, what if we plug in the... Oh, right, we can just plug in the phone here now. Let's read now. Let's read some free will. And meanwhile, let's also think about okay. This is not a real document. change your signature. Okay. I can't show you their email addresses. I don't know what the subject is. What do I want to talk to them about? This is something I think we'll do tomorrow. Alright, let's read some, I guess. Or should we make more coffee? Why do I feel like I'm about to fall asleep, bro? Oh, because it's 9:30 p.m. in France. You probably don't need my email up there on live. So let's do that. Put that over there. Okay, let's just look at my dog. This is not a real note. Okay, great. So we're gonna rate now. Oh, what did I rate Blind Spot as? That should be like a 4 or 5. Four, okay. Alright, very good. Alright, let's just knock this out, bro. Let's make some coffee, let's pee. How do I do that, though? One, two, three, four. He's so glad he's. 1, 2, 3. But no, you have to actually look at each finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's so glad he's alive. Fucked it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's so glad he's alive. For this opportunity. Great job, everybody. coffee. I'm cold, bro. You guys aren't cold? So, how should we take notes? We can go to the Warsaw work here. Okay, great. Let's do a new one. Done. Done. Too hot. Okay. Okay, let's go. Free will, Sam Harris. He's surely gonna say that free will's not real. And so we're gonna note stuff that we can include, refer to in our Warsaw illusions. Okay, ready? Oh, do you want me to put the Warsaw illusions up? I'll put that up for a little bit. Okay. What year? Let's see. Probably like 2006 or something. Oh, 2012. Cool. Still a long time ago. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's go. The question of free will touches nearly everything we care about. Morality, law, politics, religion, public policy, intimate relationships, feelings of guilt, and personal accomplishment. Most of what is distinctly human about our lives seems to depend... Oh, you're all over there. Still want to put my feet up, though. Alright, how is this? Is this okay? Most of what is distinctly human about our lives seems to depend upon our viewing one another as autonomous persons capable of free choice. If the scientific community were to declare free will an illusion, it would precipitate a culture war far more belligerent than the one that has been waged on the subject of evolution. Without free will, sinners and criminals would be nothing more than poorly calibrated clockwork. And any conception of justice that emphasized punishing them rather than deterring, rehabilitating, or merely containing them would appear utterly incongruous. And those of us who work hard and follow the rules would not deserve our success in any deep sense. It is not an accident that most people find these conclusions abhorrent. The stakes are high. Yeah, but it is what it is, bro. Am I right? Is there something you wanted me to read again? If the scientific community were to declare free will an illusion, it would precipitate a culture war far more belligerent than the one that has been waged on the subject of evolution. Sean would really like that sentence, because he said, like, one of the things he said was, wow, you're starting with, like, the hardest one. Okay. In the early morning of July 23rd, 2007, Stephen Hayes and Joshua Komisarjevsky, two career criminals, arrived at the home of Dr. William and Jennifer Petit in Cheshire, a quiet town in central Connecticut. They found Dr. Petit asleep on a sofa in the sunroom. According to his taped confession, Komisarjevsky stood over the sleeping man for some minutes, hesitating before striking him in the head with a baseball bat. He claimed that his victim's screams then triggered something within him, and he bludgeoned Petit with all his strength until he fell silent. The two then bound Petit's hands and feet and went upstairs to search the rest of the house. They discovered Jennifer Petit and her daughters, Haley, 17, and Michaela, 11, still asleep. They woke all three and immediately tied them to their beds. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit. Somebody give me a sound check. Hello? Okay. So now they've got the little girls, and the wife. Dr. William Petit is dead. Okay. At 7 a.m., Hayes went to a gas station and bought 4 gallons of gasoline. At 9:30, he drove Jennifer Petit to her bank to withdraw $15,000 in cash. The conversation between Jennifer and the bank teller suggests that she was unaware of her husband's injuries and believed that her captors would release her family unharmed. While Hayes and the girl's mother were away, Komisarievsky amused himself by taking naked photos of Michaela with his cell phone and masturbating on her. When Hayes returned with Jennifer, the two men divided up the money and briefly considered what they should do. They decided that Hayes should take Jennifer into the living room and rape her, which he did. He then strangled her to the apparent surprise of his partner. Excuse me, I didn't know it was going to go this hard in the first couple pages. But I guess he's just getting you ready to tell you that free will is an illusion. So it just I don't know what's going on. But yeah, he's probably, I mean, he only has 66 pages, bro. No foreplay. Okay. So Hayes rapes the mother. He then strangled her to the apparent surprise of his partner. So Komisarievsky was like, oh dang. At this point, the two men noticed that William Petit had slipped his bonds and escaped. Oh, until he fell silent. He's still alive. Okay. Okay. Dr. Petit is still alive. Okay. At this point, the two men noticed that William Petit had slipped his bonds and escaped. They began to panic. They quickly doused the house with gasoline and set it on fire. When asked by the police why he hadn't untied the two girls from their beds before lighting the blaze, Komisarievsky said, "It just didn't cross my mind." That "it just didn't liver, bro." That's an important line. Because people don't... That's like incomprehensible to people. No, you did that because you wanted them to die. But it's also possible that that just didn't happen in his mind to untie them. The girls died of smoke inhalation. William Petit was the only survivor of the attack. Upon hearing about crimes of this kind, most of us naturally feel that men like Hayes and Komisarievsky should be held morally responsible for their actions. Had we been close to the Petit family, many of us would feel entirely justified in killing these monsters with our own hands. Do we care that Hayes has since shown signs of remorse and has attempted suicide? Not really. What about the fact that Komisarievsky was repeatedly raped as a child? According to his journals, for as long as he can remember, he has known that he was different from other people, psychologically damaged and capable of great coldness. He also claims to have been stunned by his own behavior in the Petit home. He was a career burglar, not a murderer, and he had not consciously intended to kill anyone. Uh-oh, are we going to have to completely rethink what those words mean? Or should we just stop using them? Consciously intended? Such details might begin to give us pause. Oh, such details might begin to give us pause. Okay. As we will see, whether criminals like Hayes and Komisarievsky can be trusted to honestly report their feelings and intentions is not the point. Whatever their conscious motives, these men cannot know why they are as they are. Nor can we account for why we are not like them. As sickening as I find their behavior, I have to admit that if I were to trade places with one of these men, Adam for Adam, I would be him. That's so important. There is no extra part of me that could decide to see the world differently or to resist the impulse to victimize other people. Even if you believe there's no extra part of me. So this is kind of an essence. Oh shit, we should be typing. I don't feel like typing though, bro. Can't I just give one of you thousands access to this document and you just take notes while I read? Let's do that. Nobody's gonna do it though, so I'm just gonna have another file to organize. Alright, so, well, whatever. We don't have anything yet. Anything or type, I don't think. So we'll just go back to the... Okay. There is no extra part of me that could decide to see the world differently or to resist the impulse to victimize other people. Even if you believe that every human being harbors an immortal soul, the problem of responsibility remains. I cannot take credit for the fact that I do not have the soul of a psychopath. If I had truly been in Komisarevsky's shoes on July 23, 2007, that is, if I had his genes and life experience and an identical brain, or soul, in an identical state, I would have acted exactly as he did. There is simply no intellectually respectable position from which to deny this. Okay? The role of luck, therefore, appears decisive. There is simply no intellectually respectable position from which to deny this. Now, Sam Harris is a pretty confident speaker, but for good reason. Of course, if we learned that both these men had been suffering from brain tumors that explain their violent behavior, our moral intuitions would shift dramatically. But a neurological disorder appears to be just a special case of physical events giving rise to thoughts and actions. Do you understand that? That's important. I'm going to read that to you again. So, okay, so currently, or at least at the time of this writing, or even today, there are many people who would be affected by knowing that Komisarevsky and Hayes had tumors. Our moral intuitions would be like, oh, okay, the tumor is responsible, not that person. Here's the thing, though. That tumor is a physical thing in his physical brain, right? You could even describe it as... how would I say that? You could describe it as a physical component of his physical brain. Well, tumors or neurological disorders in general, where it's like visible in an autopsy, are only some of the possible physical components of a brain and therefore mind. So maybe it's not a tumor, maybe it's just the way that the neurons are arranged. Either way, your mind is your brain, and so however the physicality is of your brain, well, that is how your mind is. Whether it's because of a tumor or just experiences wired it a certain way, whatever. Nutrition, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to read that sentence again. Hopefully I explained that okay. Alright. Of course, if we learned that both these men had been suffering from brain tumors that explained their violent behavior, our moral intuitions would shift dramatically. But a neurological disorder appears to be just a special case of physical events giving rise to thoughts and actions. Understanding the neurophysiology of the brain, therefore, would seem to be as exculpatory as finding a tumor in it. Okay? So understanding how the neurons are set up and functioning in that given brain would seem to be as much of an excuse as a tumor. How can we make sense of our lives and hold people accountable for their choices given the unconscious origins of our conscious minds? or I would say given the mindlessness of our minds. Here it is. Are you guys ready? Page 5. Boom. Oh, not red. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? There we go. He said it. He did it. Free will is an illusion. Our wills are simply not of our own making. Thoughts and intentions emerge from background causes of which we are unaware and over which we exert no conscious control. We do not have the freedom we think we have. Alright, we can write some of that down. Good. I gotta go pee. Free will is actually more than an illusion, or less, in that it cannot be made conceptually coherent. Blam. Blam. Free will is actually more than an illusion, or less, in that it cannot be made conceptually coherent. What does he mean? We will see. Hey, Mom. Okay. Can I take a nap at 2:30? Oh, it's 3:30. Where are we at in our to-do list? Oh, you know what could wake me up a bit? If we do that. So we could do a French lesson with Dad. That would be good. That would wake me up, wouldn't it? Alright, can we just get a 6 through the book? Okay, let's go. Either our okay, free will is actually we're on page 5, right? Okay. Free will is actually more than an illusion, or less, in that it cannot be conceptually coherent. Either our wills are determined by prior causes and we are not responsible for them, or they are the product of chance and we are not responsible for them. If a man's choice to shoot the president is determined by a certain pattern of neural activity, which is in turn If a man's choice to shoot the president is determined by a certain pattern of neural activity, which is in turn the product of prior causes, perhaps an unfortunate coincidence of bad genes, an unhappy childhood, lost sleep, and cosmic ray bombardment, what can it possibly mean to say that his will is free? No one has ever described a way in which mental and physical processes could arise that would attest to the existence of such freedom. Most illusions are made of sterner stuff than this. Oh yeah, because most illusions you could at least like like say it in a sentence that isn't just obviously like wrong. But no one has ever described a way in which mental and physical processes could arise that would attest to the existence of such freedom. Could arise. Most illusions are made of sterner stuff than this. You know, it may be the hardest one for people to accept, but I think it's also the stupidest illusion that we have. Like, let me do an actual comparison. No, I don't know. I'm not going to compare them. Because I guess... No, I think will is a stupider illusion than the illusion of essence. Because essence could be possible. It could be such that every piece of a system interacts with every other piece or has an influence on every other piece. And so it's a fully singular, coherent thing. That's just not the case with the brain. And, you know, would be very difficult to achieve, especially with the complexity of mechanisms, you know, the number of mechanisms that we have and the hierarchies and all that. Rationality is pretty dumb, but it's like, first you have to define rationality, but just the idea that you are just initiating behavior magically, just going, and like doing something is so dumb. Even sense, thinking that somehow you are accurately perceiving reality, I mean, that's pretty dumb because reality's out there and it's just a bunch of cells in here. So like, how could that be in here? I think will takes the cake. I do think it's the stupidest one. That's so funny. Let's write that down too. That's good. That's awesome. Okay. The popular conception of free will seems to rest on two assumptions. The popular conception of free will seems to rest on two assumptions. One, that each of us could have behaved differently than we did in the past, and two, that we are the conscious source of most of our thoughts and actions in the present. As we are about to see, however, both of these assumptions are false. But the deeper truth is that free will doesn't even correspond to any subjective fact about us. Did I understand that? But the deeper truth is that free will doesn't even correspond to any subjective fact about us. Yeah. And introspection soon proves as hostile to the ideas as the laws of physics are. That's great. And that's what makes it so stupid. Cause like it doesn't even seem like that. How it's amazing that you've believed in free will so long. When have you ever just like thought about yourself or like looked at your behavior or anything? Jeez. Introspection soon proves as hostile to the idea as the laws of physics are. Seeming acts of volition merely arise spontaneously. Whether cause, uncaused, or probabilistically inclined, it makes no difference, and cannot be traced to a point of origin in our conscious minds. A moment or two of serious self-scrutiny, but maybe you can't afford that. That's what I'm here for, to scrutinize you. And then you just have to believe me, I guess, if you're not going to take the time to do it yourself. I get one comment and now I think and that guy probably stopped watching before I even answered his question. Seeming acts of volition merely arise spontaneously. Whether seeming acts of volition merely arise spontaneously. Oh yeah. Seeming acts of volition merely arise spontaneously and cannot be traced to a point of origin in our conscious minds. I mean, you probably confabulate, tell yourself a whole story where it's like, oh yeah, and then I had this thought before. Anyway, a moment or two, though, of serious self-scrutiny, and you might observe that you no more decide the next thought you think than the next thought I write. I no more decide the next thought I think than the next thought he writes or wrote. Okay, chapter 2 maybe, or section 2? Page 7 anyway. I gotta pee again. BRB. Oh, let's put that self-scrutiny line. Excuse me. A moment or two for the low IQ. Love that. Where's rationality? That's not on our to read list. And we were reading that with you guys. Where is it? What the fudge? Oh. Oh, that doesn't make any sense, huh? No, hold on. Oh, no, step. Oh, boy. Get out, bro. Uh-huh. Oh. Huh. Um... Okay. You're right. That's hideous. Alright, back to it. Okay. The unconscious origins of the will. We are conscious of only a tiny fraction of the information that our brains process in each moment. Although we continually notice changes in our experience in thought, mood, perception, behavior, etc., we are utterly unaware of the neurophysiological events that produce them. In fact, we can be very poor witnesses to experience itself. By merely glancing at your face or listening to your tone of voice, others are often more aware of your state of mind and motivations than you are. Ooh, that's good. That's a tough one to swallow, and I probably didn't until just a few years ago, or even less, or even I haven't really. It's kind of caught in my throat. I mean, not regarding other people, but regarding myself, of course, which is basically everybody. Ooh, shit. I generally start each day with a cup of coffee or tea, sometimes two. This morning it was coffee. 2. Why not tea? I am in no position to know. I wanted coffee more than I wanted tea today, and I was free to have what I wanted. Did I consciously choose coffee over tea? No. The choice was made for me by events in my brain that I, as the conscious witness of my thoughts and actions, could not inspect or influence. I mean, here's the thing. We are our brains. I am a brain. Okay? If you want to know what I actually look like, this is what I actually look like. But I'm not going to show you because then, well, I wouldn't be working anymore. But this is basically what I actually look like. Now, there's so much going on here, I can only talk to you about a little bit of it. In fact, I only experience a little of the activity here. What does that mean, an experience activity? I don't know. Maybe it means I can talk about it. Maybe it means there's more engagement. I don't really know. But in any case, this is me. The experience is not an agent, right? So when he says, I'm about to read a true statement, but that also kind of sounds nonsensical to me. The choice was made for me by events in my brain that I, as the conscious witness of my thoughts and actions, could not inspect or influence. It's kind of nonsensical, but also true. Could I have changed my mind and switched to tea before the coffee drinker in me could get his bearings? Yes. But this impulse would also have been the product of unconscious causes. Okay? So there's an it that's like, yo, let's get some coffee, bro. And it's not talking to me. It's just saying that out loud and going and getting some coffee. But maybe before all the motor commands are executed, maybe another it goes, actually, let's get some tea. Okay. And those its both had ifs, right? It is if then. So the then is, of the one is, let's get coffee. Of the other is, let's get tea. Either way, both of those thens had an if. Okay? A condition that was met that meant that that meant the then. A condition that was met that meant the then. Okay. Yes, but this impulse would also have been the product of unconscious causes. And by the way, even if consciousness is not an agent. So when you say that a cause is conscious or unconscious, it just means that a cause was either experienced or not experienced by the rest of the thing, or whatever. The language centers, whatever, I don't know. So, yeah. I mean, is it possible to be conscious of every step of the way? Well, you wouldn't, because there's parallel processing as well, right? So, I can't picture that. But, could you be conscious of something irrelevant at every step in the way? Theoretically, yeah. In which case, that impulse would have been the product of conscious causes, but not conscious in the sense of, in an agency sense, of produced by the experiencer, but just experienced. Causes that were experienced. You understand? Alright. Why didn't it arise this morning? The impulse to switch to tea, or to get tea. Why might it arise in the future? I cannot know. The intention to do one thing and not another does not originate in consciousness. Alright, this is garbage. It's not garbage. But consciousness is not a real fucking thing. What do you... I mean, again, this is a true statement that's nonsensical. The intention to do one thing and not another does not originate in consciousness. How can something originate in consciousness? Now, if you imagine consciousness as a thing, okay. But consciousness isn't a thing. It's the state of being experienced, if you will. So, we're saying the intention to do one thing and not another does not originate in the state of experience. It could. Anyway, rather, it appears in consciousness, as does any thought or impulse that might oppose it. The physiologist Benjamin Libet famously used EEG to show that activity in the brain's motor cortex can be detected some 300 milliseconds before a person feels that he has decided to move. Another lab extended this work using functional magnetic resonance imaging. Subjects were asked to press one of two buttons while watching a clock composed of a random sequence of letters appearing on a screen. Alright, let me turn this down. Hold on. Alright, I gotta pee again. I'll be right back. hot now. One, two, three, four, five. He's so glad he's alive for this opportunity. What's the opportunity? That's hilarious. That's fucking hilarious to me. That's so funny. That's so funny to me. That's so funny to me. That is so funny to me. That's hilarious. Wow. Ha 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 ha. That is the funniest shit she could have thought of. And it's so subtle. And it just keeps getting funnier and funnier. That's great. That's great. That's great. And we're not going to talk about it on live. That's so great. That's so funny. That's so funny. Now we're going to... Okay, we've experienced the frustration, the annoyance. Now we're going to transcend it. We acknowledge it. Hey, it's valid. It's fine. We're whatever. And that's so funny to me. That's just hilarious. That's hilarious. Okay, let me talk a little bit about it. All right, no. It's so silly. I don't like planning. And I have a friend who I'm going to be seeing in about a month. I've got a lot going on, right? Watching my uncle, trying to be a really good son, really good member of the household, and then the stuff that I actually feel like, that I love doing and really want to do, I got a lot of work to do, right? I was in the woods for I was in, I didn't have electricity for several months, so I've got a lot of work to do. And she doesn't know that. She doesn't know that. Be fair. She don't know that. What she does know, my friend, is that I don't like planning. I think it takes a lot of the fun out of things. But, I'll do it when I need to do it. So I want to plan, for instance, the future group meetings, the end of April and beginning of May trajectory of the group. Anyway, so my friend calls me a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, because we're going to be doing a road trip in May, at the end of May, and my friend's like, yo, hey, my friend calls me, hey, let's talk about the road trip, let's plan it. Thing is, my friend don't really call me. I would love for my friend to call me. And for two reasons, and both of these reasons are higher priorities than to ruin a road trip. One, we've got communication issues. And there's easily tension between us, and there's confusion between us, and there's things for us to talk about. I want to plan that. I want to talk about that. On top of that, my friend's also in the group that's working on this stuff. Haven't had a real conversation about it in a few months. I don't have the impression that my friend's done any reading of documents, of books. Has done really, it's kind of just attended meetings, it seems. So that would be my second priority of what we would talk about. Or what we would plan. So a couple months ago, my friend calls me and says, hey, we got to plan our trip. But my friend and I, we don't really talk that much. So when she first called me, I thought it was going to be about one of those top two priorities. Because, those are obvious things on the table. But it was about this road trip. I was so pleased to hear from my friend. Oh, my friend's calling me. But it's about this road trip. What about the other stuff? Anyway. So I say to my friend, absolutely, bro. I just want you to keep this energy regarding the number one priority. I didn't say that it was the number one priority, but I said regarding the thing about us talking about our relationship and figuring out our communication a little bit. I want you to keep that energy about that. I mean, keep this energy, this excitement, this willingness you have to engage and talk, and this excitement about this road trip. I want you to have that excitement and willingness about the conversations we're going to have on this road trip, because I just got back to the U.S. I've been trying to have this conversation for years. And my friend says to me, yeah, don't, that's fine, and you can talk about that stuff if you want, or you can bring it up, but don't expect me to say anything about it, like to start the conversation. Here's the thing. I mentioned I've been trying to have this conversation for a few years now. So my policy now is, or has been for the past couple of years, I've made it very clear I want to have this conversation. There's a need for a conversation. But beyond that, it's when Buddy's ready, Buddy can let me know. So, but then Buddy's like, oh no, I don't want to let you know. You can just try again. What? So it seems as though because Buddy isn't super eager to have the conversation, Buddy came up with some reasons why Buddy shouldn't be the one to start the conversation, even though Buddy's the one who hasn't been ready for the conversation. And so, which is why it makes sense for me for Buddy to start the conversation when Buddy's ready. And if that's this trip, great. Otherwise, okay. So Buddy sends me a message. Oh my gosh, I've been so busy with work. Immediately I'm reading this again, thinking, oh great, because we just had a group meeting on Saturday. She's going to say, been so busy with work, but what should I be reading? But hey, can we have a one-on-one about, the brain and stuff like that, or what? She said, but we need to plan road trip ASAP so we can book whatever we need to. Going to try to call you Thursday. Ping me if not. That's what kills me. That's so funny. I mean, just in a funny way. That's just funny, you feel me? Ping me if not. See, Buddy knows I don't like planning, okay? Several years ago, Buddy was trying to talk to me months before Buddy came to France to visit me. And Buddy was like trying for us to plan the things we were going to do. And Buddy couldn't really get me on the phone to do that. Buddy knows it. It just makes me feel really uncomfortable. And Buddy pretends like Buddy cares about that. Goes, oh, I hope I'm not overwhelming you with all this planning talk. And so I've told Buddy, yo, Buddy, I am so down for you to do the planning. And you've got a thumbs up from me on whatever it is you want to plan. And you know what? You can give me a call and I'll smile and nod. And because I guess Buddy wants to kind of experience the trip before the trip. That's how Buddy explained it a few years ago. She said, I hate that we didn't plan this together, because it would have been a great opportunity for us to just bond and experience the trip before the trip. So anyway, I get this message. Been so busy with work, but we need to plan road trip ASAP so we can book whatever we need to. Going to try to call you Thursday. Ping me if not. Buddy's probably called me 4 times this year, maximum. If we include this upcoming call. 2 of those are to do one of the things I hate most in life, which is planning. Now you might be saying, well, she doesn't want to have a conversation about your relationship. Okay. Planning a road trip that's about 6 hours long. 6 hours. Maximum 10 hours. I don't think it could possibly be 10. Planning a 6-hour road trip, do you think that that's as important as talking about, communication and stuff? Well, maybe you don't know sort of the issues we have. Anyway, I'm trying to be. So I give her a smiley face. Not a thumbs up, just hoping that, you know, she'll see I'm doing my best, you know. I'm not going to show you excitement about having a call to plan things. And also because here's what I'm so worried about happening. Once you plan things with Buddy, you can't just then be like, hey, let's not do the plan. If you see something and you're like, oh, hey, you want to do that? Buddy's going to be looking at the plan. That's not what we planned. I don't even think Buddy knows this about Buddy. What do we need to book? How far is this drive? Bro, it's 6 hours, bro. What are we booking? What are we booking? How are we not just driving, looking at the beautiful scenery, stopping for lunch, and just being inspired by what we see along the way? If we want to stop and do an activity, we do it. What are we booking? Well, she knows what we're booking. She has ideas of what she wants to do on this. It's like a 4-day trip, and we're already going to be visiting 2 people. What else are we trying to do? And also, this is the first time we've seen each other, well, only in maybe like a year. No, not even a year. But remember how last time I was waiting to have that conversation and it didn't happen? How is that not the... Anyway, so I sent a smiley face. Okay. And Buddy needs clarification. I'm taking that as cool, yeah, sounds good. And that would be fine. Okay, great, take it that way. That's you know what it's supposed to be. Take it that way. But Buddy wants confirmation. I'm taking that as cool, yeah, sounds good. Is that right? No, it's not cool. And no, it sounds absolutely terrible. This is the best I can give you right now. Okay, let's try to give her better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's so glad he's alive for this opportunity. Let's go. Let's go, little bro. This trip is happening in 5 weeks. I can't deal. How do I respond to this? Can't they just send another smiley face? Like, I'm okay with Buddy, like, annoying me and bothering me. I can smile through it. But she's like, nah, say you fucking want it. Alright, I'll say I fucking want it. I'm excited to plan our trip together. No, I can't. I don't like lying, bro. You must think I'm so... Why am I getting so worked up? What do I say, though? What do I say, though? Oh shit, were you just looking at that? No, were you? Right, because I added it. Dang, that was not supposed to do that. Okay, applicate. No, just now I want. Now it's ready, actually. Alright, whatever. Oh shit. Oh shit. Whatever. Oh shit. No, that's not good. There was all our contact info, wasn't there? Dang. Oh, fuck. Alright. What do I say to Buddy? Dang. Nobody's gonna see this. Dang. This is stupid. I'm not saying this. Can't you just take it as a fucking smiley face, bro? If I had something else to tell you, wouldn't I have told you? Where's mother? What if I put a thumbs up on that? That's so funny. Ping me if not. Didn't we argue for like an hour because you were like, hey, I know you've wanted to have this conversation for several years, but don't put it on me to tell you when I'm ready. And now you're like, I know you hate planning and are worried about how it's going to ruin the trip, and also don't love my rubbing it in your face how much this nonsense thing is more of a priority than talking about our friendship and the projects that we're supposed to be actually working on. But please remind me, because again, rubbing it in your face, it's super fucking important. I'm stuck. How do I this is Zuzhuang. No, what do you call it? And on top of that, nobody's gonna watch this part, bro. Don't worry. What is this message? Because you throw it in a tone, and it's a message. I'm taking that as cool, yeah, sounds good. Is that right? Yes, I'm so fucking excited. I'm not at all thinking about how you don't have the time or energy to talk about any of the other stuff you've said is important and that you know is important to me. What? I am trying. Here we go. What? What do I say? Fuck. I wanted to say like cool, yeah, sounds good. It's gonna be here. Here's why she and I have to talk, because it is so easy for things to be upsetting. For both of us. I gotta be so careful right now. No good responses are coming to mind. The only good responses would be to validate that. How can I validate that honestly? Okay, I got it. I'll try to remember to ping you. Okay. I just got much going on since the return. Household James Risers YouTube. I'm just settling in. This is good. Alright, that's enough of that. Okay. I still know what I'm gonna do. Because what if like, whatever. She has Instagram, so if people wanted to stalk her, they'd stalk her. They're not gonna stalk her because they 3 hours into a live with nobody watching. You know, then someone finds the. No, we're fine, right? Okay. I mean, I can't even think of what I can do about it. I can go and edit the recording and clip that part out. But that's once it's up. Okay. There's another thing to do. In addition to planning a fucking road trip. There's fucking 6-hour road trip. When we could there's already 2 things that we could spend the entire 6 hours talking about doing, thinking about. That for several months at least. But no, let's add in new activities. And let's have it such the only time. No. Alright, let's try to say something fair. Because all that stuff is maybe difficult for her to talk about. This is easy for her to talk about it, so we'll be able to talk. That's awesome. Yeah, she's just trying to get comfortable with someone she's known for about 25 years. That's all. You know, she's just not quite ready to be having real deep conversations with someone she's known since, 2000, bro? And you don't even know how old this person is, so that might just be a very, very small fraction of her life. You know? Maybe my friend's like 95, bro. For 70 years, other shit was going on, and then... Well, how did I start this? What am I talking about? Since 2000? Oh yeah, that we've known each other since 2000. So, you know, maybe, you know, she's had so many heartbreaks and so on that now, you know, it takes her longer to open up to somebody or something. I don't know. Yeah, so this road trip conversation is a great opportunity for us to just kind of nicely chit-chat and get to know each other a little bit. Get comfy. Great, that's so awesome. And yeah, that sounds so good. Great. Alright, we'll read up to page 14 and then I'm taking a break. So we were talking about Benjamin Libet, Benjamin Libet, and the famous study, the EEG study that showed that activity in the brain's motor cortex can be detected some 300 milliseconds before a person feels that he has decided to move. Another lab extended this work using functional magnetic resonance imaging. Subjects were asked to press one of two buttons while watching a clock, composed of a random sequence of letters appearing on a screen. They reported which letter was visible at the moment they decided to press one button or the other. The experimenters found two brain regions that contained information about which button subjects would press, a full 7 to 10 seconds before the decision was consciously made. 7 to 10 seconds. That's a long fucking time, bro. The experimenters found two brain regions that contained information about which button subjects would press a full 7 to 10 seconds before the decision was consciously made. Yeah, but that's not the decision. Couldn't that just be the possibilities? Maybe I left it in the bathroom. That's convenient because I have to pee anyway again. Can't find my fucking pen. Can't get to page 15 of this book. Well, I mean, I will. I'm just powering through it. We gotta do the riser stuff. Everything is fantastic. And also, something to look forward to. We're gonna be able to ruin a road trip in like 2 days, bro. That's awesome. That is so cool. It's like a 6-hour road trip, and we're gonna set up a bunch of activities to be late to and stress about. Isn't that awesome? And pay money for. And the whole time we're in one activity, we'll be thinking about the previous or the next. I'm so excited. That sounds so good to me. Thank you. Thank you. And look, I'm not saying that my anti-planning thing is actually rational. Okay, I am saying that. I did basically say that. I am justifying it. But I take it back now. Okay? I'm just fucking allergic to planning things that for some reason are characterized in my head as not needing planning. Okay? Where's my fucking pen, bro? Oh, great. Okay, let's go. 7 to 10 seconds, bro. But contained information about which button subjects would press a full 7 to 10 seconds before the decision was consciously made. Again, before the decision was consciously experienced or was experienced. Decisions aren't consciously made unless you mean that they're... No, they're not. Such nonsense. More recently, direct recordings from the cortex showed that the activity of merely 256 neurons was sufficient to predict with 80% accuracy a person's decision to move 700 milliseconds before he became aware of it. You could look at just 256 neurons, and almost a second before a decision is experienced, we know about 80% of the time what the decision will be. That's amazing, bro. These findings are difficult to reconcile with the sense that we are the conscious authors of our actions. One fact now seems indisputable. Some moments before you are aware of what you will do next, a time in which you subjectively appear to have complete freedom to behave however you please, your brain has already determined what you will do. You have already determined what you will do. You just don't know what you will... You haven't experienced that determination. You are not your consciousness. Because here's the thing. When I say you, it's not only the experienced it that receive that and feel spoken to. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say you are not just your conscious. Because when I say, like, if I say, for instance, you are stupid, that's going to have some effect that you're maybe going to experience. And it's going to have a lot of effect that you're not going to experience. Because it's not like parts of your brain are like, oh, he's not talking to me. He's talking to my conscious self. He's talking to the experiencer, not to me. You know what I mean? That's actually a really, really interesting point. That's, is it? If so, should we write that down? When I say you, I'm not just talking to conscious mechanisms, and it's not just conscious mechanisms experiencing it, receiving it. Like, in what sense could you or I ever refer to just the conscious part, or the parts experienced? Oh, gosh. I mean, it's so funny because these people act... I mean, Sam Harris acts like he's a reductionist. Not even a romantic one. Just a reductionist who doesn't believe in a soul. But the way he talks about consciousness, I think he believes in the soul. You then become conscious of this decision and believe that you are in the process of making it. Okay, more accurately, you then become conscious of this decision. That's fine. You, the brain, maybe the majority or some important parts, whatever, experiences the decision. And then parts of you... Or no, you then become conscious of this decision that you already made. Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember what point I was going to make, actually. The distinction between higher and lower systems in the brain offers no relief. No, it doesn't. Exactly. I, as the conscious witness of my experience, no more initiate events in my prefrontal cortex than I cause my heart to beat. Well said. Well said. Except for, of course, acting like there's an experiencer, but whatever. You hear this, Dad? Fantastic. Oh, we gotta go for a walk. All right, we said we'll get to page 14. Let's see how Neo's doing. Then we gotta go. Hey, buddy, what's up? You wanna come in? No, but you're just gonna wanna leave. We're gonna go for a walk soon. All right, well, you just gotta stay here now for almost 20 minutes. 5 more pages, bro. Okay. Alright, let's move. There will always be some delay between the first neurophysiological events that kindle my next conscious thought and the thought itself. There will always... Alright, fine. There will always be some delay between the first neurophysiological events that kindle my next conscious thought and the thought itself. And even if there wasn't, even if all mental states were truly coincident with their underlying brain states, and even if there weren't, even if all mental states were truly coincident with their underlying brain states, I cannot decide what I will next think or intend until a thought or intention arises. What will my next mental state be? I do not know. It just happens. Where is the freedom in that? There actually is a lot of freedom, not in that. I mean, I'm totally with him. Like, so where's your control, your freedom, blah, blah. But in the concept, we can find some sort of freedom. We're not free, but we can find freedom in not being free. Does that make sense? Yeah, freedom from some, I don't know, guilt, maybe? All right. Imagine a perfect neuroimaging device that would allow us to detect and interpret the subtlest changes in brain function. You might spend an hour thinking and acting freely in the lab, only to discover that the scientist scanning your brain has been able to produce a complete record of what you would think and do some moments in advance of each event. For instance, exactly 10 minutes and 10 seconds into the experiment, you decided to pick up a magazine from a nearby table and begin reading, but the scanner log shows this mental state arising at 10 minutes and 6 seconds, and the experimenters even knew which magazine you would choose. You read for a while, and then got bored and stopped. The experimenters knew you would stop a second before you did and could tell which sentence would be the last you read. And so it would go with everything else. You tried to recall the name of the lead experimenter, but you forgot it. A minute later, you remembered it as Brent, when it was actually Brett. Next, you decided to go shopping for new shoes after you left the lab. But on second thought, you realized that your son would be getting out of school early that day, so you wouldn't have enough time to go shopping after all. Imagine what it would be like to see the time log of these mental events alongside video of your associated behavior demonstrating that the experimenters knew what you would think and do just before you did. You would, of course, continue to feel free in every present moment, but the fact that someone else could report what you were about to think and do would expose this feeling for what it is, an illusion. If the laws of... Let's underline that. If the laws of nature do not strike most of us as incompatible with free will, because most of y'all are dumb as fuck, if that is because we have not imagined how human behavior would appear if all cause and effect relationships were understood. All if-then relationships were understood. That's an important sentence as well. If the laws of nature do not strike most of us as incompatible with free will, that is because we have not imagined how human behavior would appear if all cause and effect relationships were understood. But I can imagine that, so... Let's type that whole thing. It is important to recognize. It is important to recognize that the case I am building against free will does not depend upon philosophical materialism, the assumption that reality is, at bottom, purely physical. There is no question that most, if not all, mental events are the product of physical events. The brain is a physical system, entirely beholden to the laws of nature, and there is every reason to believe that changes in its functional state and material structure, but he's going to say, but even if that's not the case, or even if there's something else at play, either way, it's cause and effect. Even if it's waves, or quantum, or whatever the fuck, it's still not magical, it's still cause and effect. The brain is a physical system entirely beholden to the laws of nature, and there is every reason to believe that changes in its functional state and material structure entirely dictate our thoughts and actions. But even if the human mind were made of soul stuff, nothing about my argument would change. The unconscious operations of a soul would grant you no more freedom than the unconscious physiology of your brain does. Oh, let me respond to Mother real quick. Tell her we're going to go for a walk in about 15. So Buddy said, yes, that's all. Just if you remember and I don't. Yeah, absolutely, bro. I don't know who got worked up or why. The unconscious... And I will remember, by the way. I think about her every day. I think about the things about... I think about the work, this work, and the people I'm trying to do it with every day. I think about the fact that Buddy and I can't just like pick up the phone and just like talk to each other without there being drama every day. And I promise you, I'm gonna be thinking about the fact that that Buddy isn't ready to do those two things, but it absolutely insists that we have a phone call where we plan a 6-hour road trip together. I got you, bro. I won't forget. I won't forget. I won't forget. I will remember, bro. That's so funny. You might forget that as well. That's so funny. So is there anything about me that... No, let's not get... Let's not be silly. Anyway. The unconscious... Page 11, right? No, was it page 12? Yeah. What just happened? What just happened? You see how he's falling into the same trap as his target audience? Anybody that needs to be convinced that free will isn't real? This fake association between physiology and unconscious. As though then conscious... okay. Not technically, he's not necessarily doing this. He could just be referring to the physiology that's unconscious. But I think he's just describing the physiology, not specifying the physiology. That's just what I think, bro. That's how it seems to me right now. Unconscious physiology. If you don't know what your soul is going to do next, you are not in control. I'm not sure that is logical. I see how it would seem logical to an essentialist, to a non-reductionist, distributist. But a thing could be in control, could choose an action without knowing its choice. Depending on how you define knowing, or depending on how you define... Yeah, depending on how you define knowing, and then also you could have the decision localized to one place and knowing localized to another, whatever knowing means. So that would be a very easy argument against free will, but I don't think it actually would stand up. Let's see what ChatGPT thinks about that. Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? Can we go anymore? No. But you know what I mean, though, right? You feel me, bro? She feels me. Do I have ChatGPT on? So let's go like this.
Yes, I absolutely feel you. What you're highlighting is a major flaw in Harris's framing. It assumes a unitary self where knowledge and control must be co-located. But if you adopt a distributed view of the system, like in IT theory, not knowing what you will do next doesn't imply the absence of control. It just reflects the fact that different parts of the system have different roles. Let's unpack it. Sam Harris's claim. If you don't know what your soul or brain is going to do next, you are not in control. This assumes that there is a central you that should both know and control future actions. That you equal awareness, and if awareness doesn't know, then the system isn't free. But in a distributed system, control is local. An IT or set of ITs may trigger an action even if the self-model has no access to it beforehand. Knowledge is delayed. The part of the system that models you, the narrating self, receives in liveries after many processes are already underway. The idea of you needing to know what will happen is an illusion born of a centralized conscious agent fantasy. So your revision might be, if the system is distributed and an output occurs through internal predictive dynamics, then you not knowing it beforehand doesn't imply lack of control. It just reveals that you, the conscious narrator, is not the sole locus of agency. You're saying, agency is real, but not owned by a knowing subject. It's distributed and predictive, and doesn't require foreknowledge to count as control. And that's a direct hit on the illusion of the conscious will as the first mover. Want to riff on how this might relate to Harris's neuroscience framing next?
Right. Right. So I talk a lot of shit about agency because I'm saying the experiencer isn't the agent. Now, a brain can produce actions, and some of the underlying processes may be experienced by the brain. Agency is real. I don't know. Agency. Anyway, we're just nitpicking. Alright, update. Okay. Alright, page 14. Oh, good. We're already on page 12. Let's go. Alright, if you don't know what your soul is going to do next, you are not in control. This is obviously true in all cases where a person wishes he could feel or behave differently than he does. Think of the millions of committed Christians whose souls happen to be gay, prone to obesity, or bored by prayer. However, free will is no more evident when a person does exactly what, in retrospect, he wishes he had done. The soul that allows you to stay on your diet is just as mysterious as the one that tempts you to eat cherry pie for breakfast. There is a distinction between voluntary and involuntary actions, of course, but it does nothing to support the common idea of free will, nor does it depend upon it. A voluntary action is accompanied by the felt intention to carry it out, whereas an involuntary action isn't. That's good. No, I don't want to riff. Sorry, I'm kind of in a rush. To do it, to carry it out. Wait, whereas what? Action. Is not or isn't? I'm thinking about. I'm sorry. I'm distracted. I'm thinking about this road trip, this 6-hour road trip. Oh boy, all the planning we must do for it. It's not like we have anything else to do besides activities in the state we've both lived in for over a year. I'm sorry, that's not fair. We haven't done a lot of things together in that state. We didn't live in that state in the same time. Needless to say, this difference is reflected at the level of the brain, and what a person consciously intends to do says a lot about him. It makes sense to treat a man who enjoys murdering children differently from one who accidentally hit and killed a child with his car, because the conscious intentions of the former give us a lot of information about how he is likely to behave in the future. But where intentions themselves come from and what determines their character in every instance remains perfectly mysterious in subjective terms. Our sense of free will results from a failure to appreciate this. What? I'm so excited. Tell me. So we do not create the intention, then, I guess is his point. To understand this, let me read it out loud. Our sense of free will results from a failure to appreciate this. We do not know what we intend to do until the intention itself arises. To understand this is to realize that we are not the authors of our thoughts and actions in the way that people generally suppose. Of course, this insight does not make social and political freedom any less important. The freedom to do what one intends and not to do otherwise is no less valuable than it ever was. Having a gun to your head is still a problem worth rectifying wherever intentions come from. But the idea that we, as conscious, these are my quotes, as conscious beings are deeply responsible for the character of our mental lives and subsequent behavior is simply impossible to map onto reality. Consider what it would take to actually have free will. You would need to be aware of all the factors that determine your thoughts and actions, and you would need to have complete control over those factors. Definitely the second one. But there is a paradox here that vitiates the very notion of freedom. For what would influence the influences? More influences? None of these adventitious mental states are the real you. You are not controlling the storm, and you are not lost in it. You are the storm. Okay, that phrasing is really good, and that sounds like it's written by a man who truly gets it. That's good. And that's perfect to end on. You are not controlling the storm, and you are not lost in it. You are the storm. Yes, you are, baby. We are the storm, bro. How about that? Okay. All right, let's call it there. Great work today, everybody. We'll pick up on page 15, changing the subject at some point or another. All right, bye-bye. Wait, no, bye-bye.